Hey, how's it going? My name is Jake and welcome to 3313 Photography. On today's video, I want to talk about some exciting, not so exciting news coming out of Kodak. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, as one does, and I saw this post come up on Kodak's story and was immediately flooded with memories of 2016, back when Kodak originally announced this product at CES 2016. And at the time, this was extremely exciting news for a couple of reasons, and we're going to get into that right now. At the time, I was extremely interested in getting into video production. At the time, I was going to the local community college, learning some skills in video production, and working on short films with a couple of my friends. When we were looking into getting into different mediums of filmmaking, 8mm was kind of the next step for us when it came to figuring out different ways to kind of stand out amongst a crowd in our local film community, if you will. So at the time when we were starting our work with video production, Kodak announced this product, which was essentially just a modernized version of a Super 8 camera with some modern amenities on it, like an LCD screen, internal audio recording, and a couple other bells and whistles here and there. And so this was extremely exciting news for us, especially when Kodak was originally boasting a target price point of $400 to $700, with a cheaper model being released the following year. But the most exciting thing for me and my friends was that Kodak, in a lot of their interviews, and a lot of their employees in these interviews were stating,
You push the button, we do the rest. We're going back to that.
so Kodak used to use this quote as kind of a way of saying, hey, you buy the film, you shoot it, you send it to us, and we take care of the rest, right? It was making it easier for the customer. And so that's what Kodak was trying to essentially get back to. At least that's what it seemed like in a lot of these interviews from CES 2016. And their whole pitch is that if you buy the cartridge of 8mm film from us, the purchase of that 8mm cartridge includes the product as well as the developing and scanning process and getting those scans sent back to you as a digital copy, as well as receiving the reel of the 8mm footage. So when Kodak announced this was an extremely exciting thing for us, because this opened the gates to the possibilities of us actually being able to shoot with 8mm cartridges for a lot more affordable price point, right? Even if we didn't buy their camera, we could at least have that support when it came to the development and the scanning of the negatives. And there were a lot of people on board with this at the time. We even have a quote from the director J.J. Abrams saying, "The fact that Kodak is building a brand new Super 8 camera is a dream come true." So we had a lot of support on this. We had a lot of excitement, and a lot of buzz was going around talking about this, right? And then radio silence. We heard nothing from Kodak for years. Now, granted, in 2018, I don't even remember this. This is how kind of, I think, under the radar it went, and I think it was maybe intentional on Kodak's part. But they announced that, hey, we are still working on this, but the price has gone up a bit. And it's like, okay, well, how much did the price go up? $2,500 is now the price point as of 2018. And now, 5 years down the road, after the 2018 announcement, Kodak posts to their story with a link saying, hey, this is now available. So now we start looking at some of the articles, and there has been yet another price increase, now to $5,500. So where is all that money going? In the sense of, what does this product include, and what has changed since the original announcement that justifies that significant price increase and that significant price tag? Not only are they asking for a large price increase, but they're also stating that it's going to be a limited edition run. So let's get into some of the details of what this camera can do, what the package includes, and talk about why Kodak thinks that this is a good price tag for this camera, which, spoiler alert, it's not. Okay, so now let's talk about what is included in this package, right? Is there anything here that justifies this $5,500 price tag? Does it include a whole lot of new crazy things that weren't mentioned back in 2016? Well, let's take a look. So on their website, you can see the breakdown of what there is included in this package when you purchase, right? It includes the camera, a 6mm 1.2 lens, a pistol grip, a battery pack and charger, a cleaning cloth, a Pelican case, and a 1-year warranty. Moving past that though, let's talk about the features that this camera has that we have a little bit more information on since 2016. The features to mention are obviously the internal audio recording, the LCD monitor, Now, this is where the camera does have some somewhat exciting differences, I guess, when it comes to what we originally were getting. So Kodak is advertising their extended gate. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio, but on 8mm film. I think it's 11% larger frame is what I was able to get off their website, which that is pretty cool. We're able to get a wider aspect ratio and a little bit more, detail out of that film. So that is a benefit, right? We do have some different frame rates that we're able to choose from in this camera: 24, 25, 18, and 36 FPS. Again, that's pretty cool. Now, the other difference from back in 2016 when it was first announced is that there is a removable battery pack. That is cool in and of itself. I think that's fine. But when we're talking about a Super 8, 8mm camera, these cartridges last about 3 minutes, right? How many cartridges do you need to go through to where you're going to need multiple batteries to swap out? Again, I still like the option of a removable battery because batteries always can go bad or anything like that. So being able to swap them out, I guess, is a benefit. But I think just having the rechargeable, internal battery pack would have been just fine for this product. So when we're looking at this camera from 2016 and to now, that's 8 years. That's an 8-year difference. What has changed? I understand that there's a lot of technology involved that I'm not privy to. I don't build cameras. But when they had a semi-working product back in 2016, I'd imagine that if it took this long for us to get a final product, there would have been a lot of changes. One of the smallest details that you can look at and see that there obviously hasn't been a whole lot of change with this camera is that it's still using a micro USB charging port on the back of the camera. But also, the back of the camera on the original design back in 2016, I thought was very much just a mock-up, right? This just plain panel with no covers, all these open ports, and even like the SD card slot. You've got just the back of the SD card sticking out the back of the camera. It didn't look very good, and they didn't even change that. And so when Kodak is asking a $5,500 price tag for this camera, you gotta ask, who is this for? This isn't a budget-friendly camera. For reference, right? As you know, $5,000, $5,500 is a lot of money. $5,500 could buy me a brand new Nikon Z9 body. I want that camera. I can't justify spending the money on that camera. So how could I justify spending that money on an 8mm camera that has some decent bells and whistles? So not only that, we haven't heard anything from Kodak about if they're still going to do that same process where you buy the cartridge and it includes the price of development. They haven't said anything about that. So is that still on the table? Is that completely off the table? We don't know yet. So at the end of the day, I still think this is a really cool product. Obviously, right? Getting anything new with the world of analog photography or videography is always cool, right? I'm really excited to see this finally come to fruition, but it comes with a lot of very disappointing caveats. Price tag alone is the most disappointing part of it. When they originally released this back in 2016, they were pretty much saying this is a way for people who want to get into analog videography to get into it without having to worry about buying vintage equipment, and they will have a company backing them to help them through this process and for an affordable price tag. That is now completely out the window, and there still isn't any promise as of right now of if Kodak is going to hold to their word back in 2016 of still developing and scanning the film for the customers, right? We still don't really have a confirmation on that as of right now, and that's what kind of makes me nervous. But anyways, again, thank you guys so much for watching. What do you think about this news? Were you following along with this project, or is this completely news to you? And if so, what do you think about it? Are you interested in the camera? Do you think it's a total failure? Do you think it's not that big of a deal? What do you think? Again, I want to know what you guys think about this in the comments, because I have been stewing over this for the past couple days, because again, I'm extremely disappointed that after 8 years, this is what it comes down to for this product. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.